like most people transitioning into retirement, you've probably spent most of your life dedicated to others, whether it's your family or growing your career. And now that you're making the big transition into retirement, you might be struggling with your new identity during this super important phase. With your physical inertia right here, right now, we will figure out together some clarity on where you want to go and what matters most to you in retirement. In case you're new, I'm Sid Meyer, and my mission as a life coach for older adults is simple: to help you unlock your post-career passions and purpose so that you make the most out of this very important phase in life. I have the privilege of helping people transition into retirement lives that they love, where their days are full of passion, energy, and purpose. And I always tell people, without clarity, it's hard to tell if you're even headed in the right direction. So in this video, we will help you find that very important clarity. For example, if some of these questions sound familiar to you, who are you now that you're a retiree? What's your identity? What are your main priorities now, and how should you structure your time? Heck, what's your purpose? If any of those questions resonate with you, you're not alone, and this video is made specifically for you. And this isn't just another video where you can sit back and soak up knowledge. It's that too, but today we're gonna actually take a few steps together, 5 to be exact, to help you find clarity and get the most out of your retirement. Here are 5 very specific steps to help you gain clarity on what exactly you want out of retirement so that you're making the most out of this important time. Step 1, download your free workbook. Yes, right now. Actually physically pause the video and download the free workbook below. It might seem inconvenient because you just want to continue watching or scrolling to something else on your screen, but trust me, it is worth it. So this workbook is a physical way to help you roadmap what you really want out of this phase. Most people think retirement is all about doing what you want, when you want it, without a plan or a schedule. You can go for a walk, read a book, travel, or start that novel that you always talked about. But sadly, that's not the reality for most people. I have the honor of working with people mainly in their 60s and 70s every day, and I sadly hear over and over all those adventurous, fun, exciting ideas that people had when they thought about their future retirement don't end up happening without finding clarity first. So before you know it, it's a temporary rut, and then it turns into a long-term one. So we don't want that to happen to you. We're finding clarity today. Step 2. Understand the 5 rings of retirement. When you look up retirement advice on the internet, you'll come back with 99% financial tips and advice on how to save and spend properly for retirement. But there's so much more to life than money, right? The fastest way to get clear on how to live a purposeful life is to use these 5 core categories as a pulse check for where you should put your energy next. It tells you very quickly what part of your life needs attention first. The 5 rings of retirement are: community, your social life, friendships, family, spouse, neighbors. Growth. We're designed for growth, to grow for the rest of our lives. You're stimulated, keeping your brain and neuroplasticity healthy. Are you challenging yourself and learning something new? That's growth. Giving back. This is your sense of purpose and helping others and how you want to leave a legacy, the way that you're going to contribute to the world. Health. Physical and mental and emotional. Finance. Of course, make sure that your basic needs are met and that you're not going to outlive your money, and that you can use money for the passionate things in life that light you up. By the way, if you want a deeper dive into the 5 rings of retirement, and if you haven't already, please check out our video on the 5 rings of retirement. Step number 3, rate your energy levels across all 5 rings of retirement. The key to finding your passion in life is understanding and addressing how you feel energetically. I cannot reiterate enough how energy is everything. In my program, Rewire My Retirement, we use an energy gauge from 1 to 5, 1 being super depleted and in procrastination mode, feeling stuck, and 5 being super excited and feeling so accomplished in this category. A healthy balance across these categories is hugely important to live a fulfilling life during retirement. So your next step is to pause this video again and rate your energy levels across the 5 rings, from 1 being completely depleted to 5 being very fulfilled and energized. And once you've assessed your energy levels in these 5 compartments of life, you will have a better understanding of where to shift your focus next. So, which of the 5 areas do you feel the least amount of energy? Like you really want to improve this area of your life? Write it down in the comments, please. It helps me understand what you're going through and also for others to understand that they're not alone. So I can help you better, and then you get to share with other like-minded people as a support to each other, because you are not alone, trust me. Then circle your lowest energy level category. The lowest energy level is where I always recommend starting so that you can fill that cup and give it some attention. And it's not to say you'll forget about the others. Even if there's a tie, that's okay. Just pick one. You will get to the other categories after you focus on one simple ring first. Consistency always wins. And the only way to get consistent is to keep it simple. And remember, there's no one perfect way to make these balance, and your energy levels in each of these categories will ebb and flow just like life. Instead of trying to make your life perfect in each ring, just use the 5 rings of retirement as a very simple tool to find out where to focus your energy next. It's just a guide. It will guide you so that you can align everything in your life, the activities, the people, the places, events, with who you are at the core. Speaking of core, moving on to step number 4. Define your core values. Core values are more than just buzzwords. If you take them seriously, you can align your activities, events, places, and people based on who you are at your core, which is your authentic self, who hasn't necessarily been nurtured or prioritized over the past few decades. Your authentic self is the only person on this planet that can tell you what you want, truly want from life. Not anyone or anything else. It comes from within. So please do this exercise with me. Your next step is to look at the list of core values and choose 10 core values that resonate the most with you. They're all gonna sound attractive, but go ahead and pause this video and literally circle 10. Once you have your 10 circled, then narrow it down from 10 to 5 that resonate the most with you. They all matter. Just follow your gut intuition and circle the ones that pull at you the most. If it takes more than a few minutes, that's great. Some people take a long time with this exercise, especially people who haven't directly connected with themselves in this way for a while. So if you're out of practice, you're not alone. Here are some questions to help. Which 3 core values do you want to pass on to your children and your grandchildren? What 3 core values do you want people to think of when they think of you? What are 3 things you value the most? Once you're living aligned with these ideals, you can more consciously live in your natural flow more often. You can experience true joy and happiness with more ease when these core values are at the root of everything that you do. Step number 5, match your core values with your lowest energy category. So now for some brainstorming, which is your final step. Take a look at your 5 core values. When you think of these 5 words, how do they relate to your lowest energy category? And okay, I want you to set your timer for 7 minutes and jot down your answers to these questions. Again, don't judge anything that comes out. Don't even think about how you would do it. Just let it fall from your head and onto the paper as you write. The point of this exercise is to get stuff out of your subconscious. So if you had no fear and no obstacles, no fear of running out of money or any of that standing in the way, what would you have in your life that would make this category a level 5 for you? Journal about that as openly as possible and see what comes up. What type of activities, what people, places, events light you up when you think of this part of your life, and just let it flow. The more detail, the better. This might be a silly exercise, but it can clue you into a lot of juicy passion and purpose that's been neglected for a while. I get it. It's hard to find the time and space for self-reflection, but it is so important. It's true that ideas can motivate you to make your dreams come true, but without action, those ideas stay trapped in that big old pie in the sky. So really, take the time to do this introspection work that most people skip over. If you do this and really take the time to become mindful of what gets you excited, you'll naturally move towards the retirement that you've always dreamed of. This is just the beginning of a beautiful unfolding that we do in our program, Rewire My Retirement. So if you want to feel more successful and accomplished during retirement, click the link below to schedule an entirely obligation-free call with me. In less than an hour, we can start laying the foundation for an intentional and purposeful retirement. Bye for now.